All right, let's jump right in. We are about to unpack a huge health puzzle that so many of us are facing today. And the clues? Well, they're not in the doctor's office. They're millions of years in our past. This is a story about the sun, our skin, and why our ancient bodies are so confused by our modern lives.
So let me ask you something. You probably try to eat right. Maybe you hit the gym. You think you're pretty healthy, right? But what if I told you that you, like millions of other people, might be missing something absolutely fundamental? Something your body is hardwired to expect, but your day-to-day life just isn't giving it.
And listen, we're not talking about just another vitamin on the shelf. This is way bigger. We're talking about a powerful hormone, a chemical messenger that literally gives instructions to cells all over your body. And when it goes missing, the consequences can be pretty serious. And I mean, just look at this list. The impact is staggering. This isn't just about brittle bones, though that's part of it. We're seeing links to major autoimmune disorders like MS, several types of cancer, heart disease, and even devastating brain disorders like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So yeah, the stakes for getting this right are incredibly high.
Okay, so how on earth did we get here? To really understand our modern problem, we've got to go way back. I'm talking back to our earliest ancestors, living as naked foragers in equatorial Africa. Our bodies were literally forged in a world of constant, intense, year-round sun. Now, the key to surviving under that blazing sun was something called melanin. It's the pigment that gives our skin its color. And get this, all humans have this same number of melanin-making cells. The difference is that our genes tell those cells how much pigment to crank out. More melanin means darker skin, and that darker skin acts like a powerful built-in sunblock. And here's a fantastic way to think about it. Imagine dark skin is like a tough pair of denim jeans. It's protective, it's durable, and it blocks most of the sun's harmful UVB rays. Light skin, on the other hand, is more like fishnet stockings. It lets almost everything pass right through. So, back on the equator, that denim was an absolutely life-saving adaptation.
Okay, so that leads to a really important question, right? If UVB radiation from the sun can cause skin cancer and all sorts of damage, why didn't evolution just figure out a way to block it completely? Why do we need this dangerous stuff at all?
And here is the paradox. It turns out that same UVB radiation is the spark that kicks off the whole chemical reaction to create that vital hormone we were talking about, vitamin D. So our ancestors were walking this evolutionary tightrope. They needed just enough UVB to make vitamin D, but not so much that it would wreck their skin. And for them, their dark skin, combined with living naked and outdoors, it struck that perfect balance.
But, of course, the story doesn't end there. We didn't stay put. As our ancestors started migrating out of Africa, they walked straight into a brand new and very different environmental challenge. Their bodies, once perfectly adapted, now had a choice: change or die out.
I mean, just look at this timeline. For millions of years, our biology was fine-tuned for life on the equator. This whole moving into Europe and Asia thing is, evolutionarily speaking, like it happened yesterday. And over tens of thousands of years, something radical happened. Our skin started getting lighter. And this slide shows you exactly why that was a life or death situation. Up north, the problem completely flipped. It wasn't too much sun, it was way too little. The sun was weaker, winters were long, and people were covered in animal hides to stay warm. Suddenly, that protective denim skin became a huge liability. It blocked what little UVB was available, leading to severe vitamin D deficiency and a brutal disease called rickets. For women, rickets would warp the pelvis, making childbirth fatal. So all of a sudden, lighter skin became a massive survival advantage. And that brings us right back to today. Our DNA still carries the instruction manual from these ancient worlds. But our lifestyles, oh man, they have changed at a speed our biology just can't keep up with, creating this huge, epic mismatch. Just think about what our bodies are actually built for. A life lived near the equator. A life spent almost entirely outside, with our bare skin soaking up the sun all day, every day. That is the baseline. That is what our biology expects. Now compare that to modern life. It's night and day. Many of us live miles away from the equator. We spend our work days, our school days inside. We're covered in clothes. And when we do go outside, we do the smart thing and put on sunscreen. We have, for all practical purposes, completely shut off the #1 source of vitamin D our species evolved to depend on. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Can't I just get this from my diet or my multivitamin? And honestly, that's a super common misconception. But the truth is, you simply cannot eat your way out of this problem. Very, very few foods have enough vitamin D, and your standard multivitamin usually has just a tiny fraction of what you really need to close this ancestral gap.
So, if the sun is no longer a reliable option for most of us and food just doesn't cut it, what do we do? Well, the solution is actually pretty simple. It's effective and it's easy to get. Let's walk through a clear, actionable plan. For most healthy adults, the sweet spot you're aiming for is between 2,000 and 4,000 IU. That stands for international units, every single day. This is the dose that's widely seen as both safe and effective for getting your levels back to where our bodies were designed to be. And here's a super simple routine to make it work. First, make sure you're getting vitamin D3. That's the specific kind our body makes from sunlight. D2 isn't quite the same. Second, take it with a meal that has some fat in it, like with breakfast, because that helps your body absorb it. Third, think about the seasons. You might want to take a bit more, say 4,000 IU, in the darker fall and winter months, and dial it back to 2,000 in the summer. And of course, it's always a good idea to chat with your doctor, especially if you have any health concerns.
So let's just wrap this all up. Your body is ancient. It was shaped by a world of endless sun and open plains. But your life is modern, lived indoors, under roofs, and behind screens. This mismatch is at the root of so many health problems. But the fix is right there. It's within our reach. So the only real question left is, are you ready to bridge that gap?